Hello, guys. It's good to be with you. I just wanted to inform you guys so that you're not without. Um, George Soros is a very important figure in these last days. Around over 10 years ago, I was basically involved in a particular trading called Forex trading. It was very popular at that time. A lot of our advertisement. And there's a figure that came to me, uh, and it was George Soros, who was a great foreign exchange trader. Um, he was a main figure in forex, and I kind of idolized Mr. Soros because he was so powerful. I was interested in learning his trading skills. Um, Not realizing exactly who he was. Now, a dream revealed exactly what this man is involved in and who he really is. And so, in this dream, there was a mountain, and there was a man climbing up the mountain who was dressed in a suit. Um, and I was going past this man on his right hand side, and it became apparent to me that the man looked a little bit like an Al Gore. His face looked like an Al Gore. His forehead uh, looked more like Soros at that particular moment in the dream. And so you would see um, that there's a kind of a partnership between Soros and the Al Gore. Uh, and going on onward with the dream, I saw that Soros was actually the man. Um, and it was a Soros that wasn't. He was climbing up the mountain. He was younger. He was about in his 50s, and but his face looked a little bit more tarnished. And God was speaking to me in the dream and saying, "This is an antichrist." He was speaking to my conscience, and I flew over that mountain that he was climbing, and I flew over him as if I had wings, you know. But the important aspect here is that George Soros is involved in Antichrist wars. He is an Antichrist, and the Black Lives Matter movement. You have to understand what they're doing. They're actually destroying systematically the black reputation in America. And there's some people that believe that George Soros is a neo-Nazi collaborator. He collaborates with the KKK. There's a ton of KKK on the Democratic side as well, and so he's a liberal, but he's using different groups to destroy the blacks. Um, but the main part of it is actually destroying America and bringing in China as the new global power. And he's been talking about doing that for a very very long time. Um, Antifa is a group that he created with his funds, as is Black Lives Matter, um, and they're actually uh, financed to create havoc in the United States. Black Lives Matter has a hidden agenda. I don't think that the lady that started Black Lives Matter has the cleanest aspects. She may be paid to protest and start this initiative for the black people, but they're not actually helping black people. It is evidently clear that they're tarnishing the reputation of a majority of blacks, and they're taking advantage of those 14 and 20% of blacks that would go out and loot and destroy. Probably less than even 14% of these black people, you know, are going out there to destroy and burn buildings and do all this bad stuff. And so, what's very important is you need to see what these people do outside. They come out, proclaiming certain things. Oh, anti-fascism. False. George Soros is one of the greatest fascists that ever lived in the history of mankind. He takes profit on his trades against entire countries. Isn't that what you call a lover of money, a lover of profit? And some people have the instinct to be an idiot. Um, they're saying that communism is not nationalism. This is a big, very, very big, stinking lie. Okay, communism is big government. Communism is shutting down borders and keeping the citizens locked down to listen to a government. And the whole idea of communism, Marx and Engels, they actually have, and many people will not tell you this, but this is the secret to it. They read that part in Jerusalem when the Holy Spirit used um, the Apostle Peter to basically sell people's property and bring them communally to help the poor. And basically, what Marx and Engels are acting as, they're acting as if they're the Apostle Peter, you know, and literally, that's what they're doing. They're creating a government based on that aspect, the concept from the Jerusalem, which is a blasphemy. Everybody knows that it is the Holy Spirit that performed that at the particular time for Jerusalem, for the poor. And so the concept of communism is unbelievable blasphemy. Um, you know, the Apostle Peter did not abolish private property rights. Okay, he didn't abolish them. The Holy Spirit called them to a commandment of love to sell what they have and bring it in unity. Okay, but that doesn't declare that the Holy Spirit abolished private property rights and did all that. Um, Instead, they were called to a greater unity and to help the poor. Now, what you have to be careful about is Antifa is a terrorist organization. I promise you that Trump didn't lie when he called it a terrorist organization. It is a terrorist organization. I believe that Antifa is a group. You could see that Keith Ellison, who is a very big, prominent government figure, has declared allegiance to the Antifa movement. This is accomplished. I think it's accomplishing the prophecy by Dmitry Duduman, and this group, I believe, will be used to destroy America, and then there's going to be, uh, you know, to start the destruction of America, and then there's going to be a bombing according to the Dmitry Duduman prophecy, and they're going to destroy the nuclear weapons in America and destroy the defense of the United States. Okay, get ready for some very terrifying things. These people have chosen to be with the Antichrist. Okay, um, and when I say Antichrist, I'm not saying that George Soros is necessarily the beast, because I don't know that. It could be, but he is part of the beast. I believe that he is at least one of the 10 horns on the beast. And so, literally, I need to have you understand this stuff, and so that you don't fall into this, oh, let's support Black Lives Matter uh, movement literally, what needs to happen is you need to continue to preach against racism and work against racism and be alert about racism. But the very important aspect here is to literally get away from all kinds of people that would do criminality in this country. Okay, if they're going out there breaking windows, you don't need to be protesting with them. If they're burning, you know what I mean. If it was Martin Luther King, he would have left that protest and said, you know what, he would have started preaching against those people breaking the windows, and they even burned down black businesses, and which is even stupider, you know. Black lives don't matter. The Black Lives Matter movement, I think it's a neo-Nazi collaboration. Now, they might be black, you know, the leaders of Black Lives Matter, but here's the deal: they're Freemasons, and they're listening to this Antichrist system that's in place to systematically destroy America and divide the blacks and the whites. And so I don't believe that Mr. George Soros lacks racism. Okay, I think he's a racist, and I think you need to be aware of that. And I think you need to wake up to the reality that the word is coming to pass. And you need to be careful against the mark of the beast. They're going to come out there, and they're going to have to use the field of medicine to do what they want to do, and implant a certain digital identifier system in order for you to go out there and buy and sell, or have the privilege of buying and selling. Um, so be careful about these bad people. They're creating, they're destroying America, and they're destroying many other countries. This is in Daniel chapter 11 prophecy. Okay, he shall enter into countries, and many countries shall be overthrown. Listen to the Lord's word, pay attention, and don't support the rioters, the destroyers. They're just, you know, there's probably about less 10%, or probably less than that, of black people that are going out there and destroying the black reputation internationally. They're destroying it internationally. This is set on an international stage, which many people believe that Soros is a neo-Nazi collaborator. Again, I'm coming back to that aspect. Yes, I believe that they're destroying the blacks. Um, Pay attention, share this information with many peoples, and let's hope for the best. Keep praying for Black lives. I care about Black lives. I would want the black reputation up and higher than ever before. I want blacks more educated. I want them more economically sound in this country. I know there's some racism going on, but there's bigger problems within the black community that need to be solved rather than defunding the police. They're defunding the police. It's a Freemasonic work so that they could bring in the militants. Okay, the military, the U.S. military is going to be deployed, and they're going to vaccinate everybody. So you see how this system is starting to work against black lives and against white lives and everybody else in the United States. God bless you. Pay attention to the signs, guys.